What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing the very first ever What If video. This one's going to be a new little series here on the channel that we do every once in a while whenever we have a new kind of what if scenario to cover for either Walking Dead or really any TV series that we cover here on the channel. This one we're going to be doing the what if question, especially after we did the good and bad of Simon. This one kind of just popped to my head, and I figured this is a good start for this new little series. This one is, let's say if Simon basically killed Negan in Season 8, Episode 15, if Simon actually won that fight and led the Saviours afterwards, how would the rest of All Out War would have handled, and how would have Simon led the Saviours, and would Simon have been able to keep the Saviours alive, or would it have been a fail? Okay, guys, so this is going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today. This one's going to be doing the what if video that I promised you guys I was going to do. And I have to admit as well, this is going to be something I'm sure is going to probably, I'm going to do more videos on these later, these what if scenarios. This is really just a tester. This video is really just a test to see how people kind of react to these type of videos. Because I have a feeling that there could be people that don't like these videos and some people that like them. And so if you do like this video, click the like button and I'll be able to tell whether or not people actually like this idea or not. Now, these are not going to be like the Saturday Spotlights, these what if videos. These are strictly just going to be basically whenever we want. It's not going to be on a Saturday. It's not going to be on this or that or this day or whatever. There's no schedule for these what if videos. They're just going to be whenever I come up, either I or you guys come up with a what if scenario, a what if idea. For The Walking Dead. And it does not need to just be The Walking Dead. You guys can do what-ifs for other TV shows as long as it's something that I know, something that we cover on this channel, something I review, whatever, then we can definitely do that. But, I figured I would start with this one since we did do the good and bad of Simon this past weekend. I figured this is a good one to do as well. I feel like this is one that we have to discuss. Now, what would happen... Okay, so what would happen if Simon won against Negan in Season 8, Episode 15? How would that go, and how would Negan, how would the death of Negan result in Simon leading the Saviours, and how would Simon deal with being the leader of the Saviours? Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a twist in this video. I don't think Simon and the Saviours would have survived. I'm serious. I don't think that Simon and the Saviours would have survived. And I don't mean that they would have survived, all this time and then just died eventually. I personally think, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? Really? That's what Dan thinks? I personally think that Simon would have lost the war in Season 8, Episode 16, either way, honestly. And I'm going to explain why, honestly, because I don't think Simon and the Saviours would have gotten that far. A day's worth, if anything, because, honestly, let's say Simon killed Negan. Okay, he takes over the Saviours. What's the first thing that has to happen? He finds out that Dwight is the rat, basically. Simon finds out that Dwight has betrayed them. So let's start there. Dwight, personally, for me, I think Simon, honestly, thinking about who Simon is, knowing that because of Dwight giving Rick and the others all these directions to get to all these outposts, I don't think Simon would have cared. I think Simon would have killed Dwight, straight up. Simon already was losing it. Simon, honestly, I see him killing Dwight. I really do. Simon is very trigger happy, and if Simon found out that Dwight gave Rick and the others directions to all these outposts and got all these Saviours killed because of it, Simon would have killed Dwight because of that. Now, the other thing I think Simon would have did would be to kill Gregory. That's another one I think he would do. I think Simon would kill Gregory just because he could. Honestly, I don't think Simon would let Gregory just kind of get away. I think he would have killed him if he had the chance, and I think he would have. Maybe even in front of everybody. Who knows? But that's just my personal opinion. Now, the other thing is as well, so, okay, now we're at a point, Simon has killed Dwight, he's killed Gregory because it's Simon, But now let's discuss the war aspect. Now, I don't think, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, I don't think they would have made it past the war. I know some people are going to really be like, really? That makes this video a lot less, interesting because Simon and the Saviours just die at the same time that Negan was beaten by Rick at the end of Season 8, Episode 16. What I mean by that, plus I think Rick would have killed Simon. Let me just mention that. I think Rick would have killed Simon instead, honestly, instead of Negan. I think it would have been the same thing. I think, except for this time, I don't think Rick would have listened to Carl. I think if Rick found out Negan was already dead, Rick would have just killed Simon at the tree. Or something like that. But personally for me, I think that Eugene... Okay, so let's talk about Eugene for a minute. So Eugene was making the bullets at the factory, at the outpost or whatever. He would have still continued to be making those bullets because Simon would have wanted the bullets to kill Rick and the others at Hilltop. So, personally for me, that wouldn't have changed anything, right? Because Simon, you know, you guys remember when they thought Negan was dead and Negan was gone, Eugene was just like, I'd like to remind you that blah, blah, blah. Negan is no longer in charge. Simon is in charge now, and Simon is taking in charge of the sanctuary or whatever, when they thought Negan was gone and Negan was dead, potentially, right? So it sounds like Simon was still wanting all those bullets from Eugene, even if Negan was out of the picture. So Eugene would have still had his chance to do something, and he still would have had a chance to, make the bullets turn on the Saviours and kill all the Saviours. And you could say maybe Eugene could change his mind because he's like, oh, well, Negan's dead now. The problem's gone. It's just Simon leading the Saviours now. So Eugene may think, oh, well, I can fix these bullets, maybe, whatever. No. Honestly, for Eugene, if Eugene found out that Negan was dead and Simon took over, that would make him rush to make the bullets work less anyway, you know? Like, honestly, if Eugene thought that Simon was in charge of the Saviours and that's how it was going to be for now on, he would have just made those bullets supply just 10 times quicker to make sure that Simon died because, you know, honestly, Simon's even crazier than Negan, and Eugene knows that. You know, I'm sure Eugene knows that. So, personally, Eugene would have still done what he did. The bullets wouldn't have worked. Simon's Saviours would have been killed, most of them at least. Laura and the others would have surrendered, and Simon would have been killed at the tree. Yes, killed, not saved by Rick. He would have been killed at the tree because Rick, honestly, I think Rick at that point just wouldn't have cared. He would have killed Simon. I don't think that Carl would have cared if Simon, Carl cared about Negan. He didn't care about Simon. So Rick would have killed Simon, and I think that's how it would have went. And honestly, then Maggie also, let's also specify, I guess, if you want to go further with this, Maggie would have been happy. She'd be like, okay, Negan's dead now. Simon's dead. Maggie wouldn't have been mad at Rick. Maggie wouldn't have tried to go to Alexandria and kill Negan in the cell. And guess what? Rick would still be with them right now. There you go. So, yeah, I'm going to let you guys' mind wander on that one. But it's true. It's true because I'm going to specify it again. You know, Simon's dead at the tree, this and that, all the Saviours, the guns blew up still, Eugene still did what he did. You know, Simon got killed at the tree instead of saved, unlike Negan. Rick would have killed Simon. Simon, would have been dead. Negan would have been dead just prior because Simon would have killed Negan. Maggie would have been happy because now Simon and Negan are dead. And I guess Dwight, unfortunately, too. Maggie would have been happy. Rick would have been good. Everything would have been good. Maggie wouldn't have tried to kill Negan at the cell. Everything would have been normal. And Rick wouldn't have died because of Maggie trying to get there and Rick trying to stop her. And Rick would have survived. Rick would have survived if it wasn't... If Simon killed Negan, Rick would have survived. I know. I know. I didn't think about it. I really didn't. I didn't think about it at first. But when you add all that up, Maggie wouldn't have been mad at Rick, because Negan and Simon and Dwight would have been dead already, right? And you would have seen peace. Maggie just chill out, have a normal life. She wouldn't have tried to kill Negan at a cell because there wouldn't have been a Negan to try to kill. And Rick and Daryl wouldn't have tried to stop her, right? And Rick wouldn't have gotten caught up with the herd in the first place. And you wouldn't have had Rick get injured, die, and Maggie wouldn't have killed Rick, as a lot of people say. And, yeah, that's pretty much that. I'm gonna leave it to you guys for the rest of this video. So, crazy, I know, but that's personally, I think that if Simon, think about it, step by step, Simon honestly killing Negan, as much as we would all miss Negan, they would have had to find another way for Andrew Lincoln to leave the show, because that wouldn't have worked. Just saying. So, because Maggie's killer, Negan, would have already been dead by Simon. So, there you go. There you go. So, that's my personal thoughts on it. I know this is a very stretched kind of, you have to really let your mind wander in this video, but just think about it. If you go through all those steps, Rick would still be alive if Simon killed Negan. Just my thoughts. So write your comments in the comment section below. This is a very sensitive topic, I have a feeling, for a lot of people. So I want to hear that in the comment section below. Really think about it, and you will realize that, yeah, honestly, things would have gone that way. And that's crazy to think that if Simon just did that one thing, if Simon just won that fight, you know, Maggie wouldn't have gotten upset because there wouldn't have been a Negan to kill. Things would have been normal, and Rick wouldn't have had to stop the herd because he wouldn't even have been in a position to lead the herd away. You know? So, there is that. Anyway, write your comments in the comment section below. I want to hear from you guys. And of course, if you're new here, guys, click the subscribe button for sending my Walking Dead videos. Do you guys want to see some more what if videos? Write that down in the comment section below. I'd be glad to do some more. And if so, what ifs do you guys want to see? What ifs would you want to see coming up? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys really soon for another video. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.